we are live. We are live, are we? So let me see if I can fix this. So no one was going live after Bob, and I was like, I'm still in my classroom grading. I might as well do a fish tank update because it's been forever. Actually, I should hi. I'm trying to figure out, it's been so long since I put a video on here that I don't remember how to do it. So, oh, hey, look, it says that I'm live now. Oh, there I am. Okay, so yeah, oh my gosh, it's been so long. And Mr. Science Geek isn't live streaming to keep me company. I am here all alone. See? I don't like being here alone, guys. So, geez, it's hi. How's everyone doing? It's been a while. It's been a crazy first semester, first year teacher teaching, and yeah. Anyway, let me take you around. Hello. It's nice to see everybody. It's actually much easier to read on here than it is. Obviously, can't read it here. Here we go. Okay. So, Cecilia, yes, Cecilia Hobbies. I'm stressed out. It's the last full week of instruction before finals, so close to the end. My shrimp tank on my desk has turned into a jungle of guppy grass. It's lovely. I pull snails out of there here all the time. But guys, this is what happens when you have a tank with guppy grass that just never gets trimmed. And there are still shrimp in there. They've had babies. I never see them. So yeah, super secretive. So this is what happens whenever heating turns on. A lot of my Nepenthes lose their pitchers in the winter. And so my poor Nepenthes plants have kind of lost pitchers, but we have some new ones here that might pitcher, it might not. Unfortunately, they're right over the heater, which is not ideal placement. But it's funny, these plants have been really essential teaching photosynthesis, so we've been learning photosynthesis lately. Horseshoe bettas, yes, they are carnivorous plants, and a bunch of my students have been really interested in them. And my thing now is if a student shows a lot of interest in carnivorous plants, and I have a couple that actually grow them at home, we've had really great conversations about that, then I'll give them one of my plants that I took a cutting of, right? So Nepenthes constantly grow and vine, and then I'll take a cutting and root it just all the time. And then I'll give them to one of my students. So that has been fun. Something I didn't anticipate. So this is the tank that one of my students set up. She asked me if she could set up a tank in my classroom, and I was like, sure. And so I've been teaching her how to set up a tank. And, it was all her initiative. She brought in all the stuff. You can see we're learning. She bought this thinking it was an aquatic plant, and they do mark it as an aquatic plant, but actually it's not. So this is Dracaena, I believe is how you say it, and or I think another common name is lucky bamboo. And they grow really well immersed with the roots in the water and the leaves out of the water. But unfortunately, they also market it as a truly aquatic plant, which it is not. So I'm going to talk to her about that. But she just put this stuff in. She just got a little moss ball and, got all this stuff. And she likes swordtails. And the best part was when she went to get the fish, of course, if we live in a big city, but it's still a small town at heart, and the fish store owner knew me, of course. It's like the fish store owner was asking her some questions, and then it was like, oh, who's your teacher? And then figured out it was me. So again, I live in a big city, but really it's a small town. So that was really sweet. So yeah, she's been learning about how to take care of her fish and the pink gravel horseshoe bettas. So this is our school colors. So we are, our school colors are bright red and gold. So you know, it's turning out well. I gave her a bunch of these plants, and then she's been slowly filling in the plants, and these little cories are just adorable. So this is one of my students' tanks. So the thing about being the resident science teacher that likes fish is that all the other teachers are like, oh, can you help me with my fish tank and all this stuff? So I've been kind of helping the other teachers get their fish tanks together. And then one of the other science teachers just set up his fish tank in my classroom. So he does like an ecology unit every year, and they use zebra danios, so these little guys. And he set up his tank in here to just kind of hold them until he does his next unit. And these zebra danios, I've never had them before, and I've never kept them before, but they are so much fun. They're super active, and there's this crazy like albino one, crazy longfin albino one. And yeah, this is his tank that's just living in my classroom. I have this tank and this tank on the same air supply, and this tank is doing just phenomenal. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better fish tank. The kids love it. I haven't seen any fry from the Vietnamese white clouds, these little white cloud guys. I see them spawning a lot. Unfortunately, one did die. That was a little bit of an awkward conversation, but you know, we figured it out. Taking duckweed out of my tank is a pain in the neck. You know, Chris Fishroom, I actually enjoy having some top cover. So a lot of my fish at home enjoy like having the top of the water covered. It makes them feel more secure. But I can't get duckweed to grow to save my life. I don't know why. And then the snails are great. So we use these in our photosynthesis posters. Actually, I should show you guys that. So the tank has been doing great, and I use the snails, or we used rather, the snails and the Anacharis for some posters. So let me see if I can get some, show you some student work, but let me make sure not to show names. Hold on. Let me just do this stuff. Okay, so here is a good one. Okay, so I'm covering up names. But here we have like our posters, right? And what they did is that they created a system. So you see here, this was the control, and they had 2 snails and an Anacharis in here. And of course, Anacharis does photosynthesis, and then the snail performs respiration. So this one didn't quite have everything. Here, let me just make sure to cover up names. Here's a good one. Okay, so in the control tube, we had Anacharis and the snail doing respiration. This diagram isn't quite 100% either, but you know, whatever. They're learning. And then in the experiment, the groups could choose their own experiment. So this group decided to take out the Anacharis, remove photosynthesis, and see if there would be CO2 buildup from respiration. And you can see here, we measured pH every 5 minutes, and in the control had higher pH, and the experiment had lower pH. And that kind of makes sense, right? Because if the snail is releasing CO2, then it would have lower pH, because CO2 turns into carbonic acid in water, which has a low pH. And so this was really cool, and the kids like described their results and then their conclusion, and this one did too. And we just had a really cool like science-y conference with that. Most of the kids picked up their posters. So here's another one. Oh, didn't have the cycle there. This group decided to add 10 snails, my goodness. So this was a really fun one. Ooh, this one is beautiful. So this is a beautiful one. Let me make sure there are no names. Okay. So this one, let's see. So again, photosynthesis, respiration, measuring out the pH over time. Oh, they decided to take out their Anacharis. So most of my kids took their posters home because they really liked their posters. And it was really fun for them because I think they, as a group, they came up with a bunch of different testable questions, and then they could choose one, and I let them do it. And it was crazy, but it was really fun. So that is why I have so many snails. Because each one of the groups had at least 2 snails in their control, and then however many snails they decided to put into their experiment. And we used the Eladia sprigs, of course, and it worked out perfectly. On the white screen? What? Oh, yeah, I'm up there too. But anyway, this tank has been doing great. I wish my sword plant was doing a little better. I'm not fertilizing this tank at all, by the way. The plants are growing slowly, but there's not a ton of algae. Here's the red tiger lotus. It has some holes in the leaves, so if anyone knows why I'm getting holes in the leaves and could comment, that would be great. Maybe here's a better view of that. I'm not sure why I'm getting holes, but it's finally starting to grow, which is what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to kind of cover this whole area. But you can see the fish are nice and friendly. One of the other teachers had a couple of autocinclus, so those got donated in. Oh, here's another one. So this snail, I don't know why, but he's been kind of stuck in this position for at least 2 days. I don't know if you can see that. And he kind of spirals around in this spot. I've never seen a snail do this. He's kind of just twirling about in this one area. I don't know, it's very strange. I've never seen a snail get kind of stuck like that. So if anyone knows what's going on there, that would be great. So root tabs in the soil by the water lily, Professor M. Okay, I can do that. I'll find time somewhere, somehow, and put some in there. Otherwise, this tank has been doing really well, growing. The kids really like it. I teach at Lincoln High School in San Francisco. So, okay. So I said that I got a new tank. Well, since the last live stream, we have like 2 new tanks. But this is the tank I'm talking about. So, look at this. So once you get the reputation for being a teacher that likes animals in her classroom, you get all sorts of stuff coming in. And I don't know what to do with this tank. Obviously, this can't be a wait, hold on. Chris Fishroom, snails are starting to die. Don't know why parameters are good as heavily planted tank. Yeah, I'm not sure about other tanks. My tank is, those snails are breeding like crazy. But yeah, some kind of deficiency, Lord Vader. Oh, potassium deficiency, Marjorie Lapska. Okay, so a lot of people are saying potassium deficiency. I'll get some root tabs in there. But anyway, this is my new tank. And it's not going to be for fish, but I don't know what to put in it. So here, you see it's a true view. And whoever had this tank before, I don't know who had it before, they added these cool wooden doors that slide up and down. The tank is about 3 feet wide. And you can see the doors slide up and down. And yes, I'm thinking it's going to be for a reptile because obviously it can't hold water. But yeah, they found this tank in a stock room somewhere. And they were like, hey, we know a teacher that likes animals in her classroom. And they just carried it over here. And this TrueView acrylic tank, it's almost a shame that they cut holes in it because, I mean, a TrueView acrylic tank is, one of the most expensive ones out there. How do you know it doesn't? Jimmy, look at this. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what to put in this tank. I'm pretty sure it held a reptile before, judging by the old ZoomEd heat mat down here. But yeah, I don't know. We shall see what goes in here. I don't know, guys. Maybe some kind of. I was kind of holding off on having a snake in the classroom because some people are truly terrified of snakes. Oh my goodness, dart frogs. Oh man, Professor M, that is a great, great idea. Yeah, I could see a bioactive dart frog tank being really good. And we could even see the life cycle. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I love that idea. I love the idea of dart frogs because, like, I could put a light up here and then we could see the life cycle. That would be really, really cool. Okay, I'm filing that down. And then, so we have that tank, and then one of my other friends donated this tank. So, what should go in this tank? My dear friend Jason Varian, okay, he donated this tank. He breeds really cool satanic leaf geckos, by the way. I think that's what they're called. So if you see him at a reptile show and you see his satanic leafed geckos, they're crazy cool. But yeah, the sticker is so, I know, look at this. Yeah, so Pet Statics, I am thinking, and Mellow Moogle, I am also thinking a crested gecko would be pretty sweet in here. And it's got like this fake background. I could take it out, maybe. But yeah, super excited. The kids were hilarious. As soon as they saw it, they're like, Miss Souza, what are we getting? What are we getting? And I was like, oh my goodness, we need to get through finals first. But it's got this really cool, like, you know, it's got a screen top, but then the rest of it is nice and enclosed, and I can just clean it up. And we could have some, you know, have some nice planting here. Yeah, I think this is going to be great for a crested gecko, although I think they get large. I've never kept a crested gecko, so I have no idea. But yeah, so I said I had new tanks. I have a ton of new tanks. But yeah, that's kind of the fish tank, classroom fish tank update. And yeah, it's been fun. This classroom tank has done absolutely everything that I've wanted it to. It's come up with a lot of good questions. Okay, so who takes home the critters at the end of the school year? That is why in Bob's live stream, I was like, I'm going to take the fish home, but can the planted tank survive on its own? So I was planning on like taking all the snails and the fish and just keeping them in my tanks during the summer. And then of course, my student, this is her tank. She's going to take it home at the end of the year. And then one of the other teachers, I think he's going to take them home or take this tank home over the summer. But honestly, I was just going to leave this planted tank here, just like fill it up, make sure there's no fish in it, and just let it stay here over the summer. My school gets used over the summer, so it won't be alone. I could ask somebody to feed it or watch it or something. But I think I'd rather just take these little guys home. I've also been thinking of adding some more fish, but I'm not quite sure what. Like, these fish have to be fairly cold tolerant, and these guys have been doing really well. But I'm kind of sad that they haven't had fry. I'm pretty sure they're eating their own fry. I would take the frogs if I was there. Yeah. If I get dart frogs, and I think that's what this tank honestly should be. I love that idea. Then I'm definitely taking them home. So, yeah, this is kind of this is my classroom, guys. I love how I started the year with this one tank, and then it multiplied, and then there was another one, and then it reproduced, and now everything is slowly getting put up. So red-eye tree frogs would be cool. That's cool. The thing is, I hate that crickets make noise, and that would drive me insane while I'm teaching. So I've been reading about crested geckos, like most of them can live on a complete diet. What is it? It's like a gel, I think. I have not done enough research, obviously. I'm not going to fill this thing for a while. but it needs to be something that won't make noise. Repashy, there we go. Repashy Pangea Complete Gecko Diet. So it's got to be something that doesn't make noise because that would drive me absolutely bonkers while I'm teaching. But yeah, this classroom is slowly filling up. It's been great. Let's see, what else? Oh, my students made neutrally buoyant plankton. Andrew Becker, yeah, I'm thinking that dart frogs would be great for that tank. But yeah, we made neutrally buoyant plankton models. It is extremely difficult to make something that is neutrally buoyant. Parrot is out of the question. Parrot is definitely out of the question. That would drive me crazy. That would drive me crazy. And I have to like hold my phone really far. It is awkward that I can't really see what's going on the screen unless I like, there we go. Still too close for comfort. Anyway, guys, I do need to return to grading. It is the last week before finals, and then freedom for 3 weeks. So hopefully I can get out a couple cool videos at that point, maybe during winter break. I don't want to promise too much, but hopefully there's something cool over winter break that I can take video of, maybe edit some old footage, put it up there. I miss you guys. I just wanted to give you guys a brief view, a brief update into what's happening in my classroom. All right? All right. Good night, guys. Okay. See, I don't even remember how to turn this off.